What's good? It's your boy CJ Goodfellow. We back with the boxing clinic. Shout out to everybody out here doing it. Probably last boxing video for the night. Talking about Danny Swift Garcia. The Danny Garcia plan. And quick background on Danny Garcia. A lot of people, speak on things that they don't know shit about. Just because everything isn't in the spotlight, isn't reported, doesn't mean it didn't happen or wouldn't happen. Talking about Jermell Charlo real quick. Everybody said he didn't feel like Erickson Lubin earned a shot. People said, oh, who did he fight? Man, he fought a lot of tough guys coming up. Rosado, he did fight Vanez. People, people going to complain about anybody that come forward deserve a win. Not true. I think he fought Demetrius Hopkins, Charlie Ota. For a dude coming up in his early 20s, he had a good resume, man. Real solid resume. Ain't never ducked nobody. And, people forget that with Danny Garcia. Danny Garcia, right or wrong, is in the, the Floyd Mayweather stage of his career after he fought Oscar De La Hoya, even though financially or status-wise in the boxing world, he ain't, to us, he ain't there. But, he did pay his dues, fought the tough guys coming up, Theo Payne, early in his career, on a short notice, according to Angel. Fought Kendall Hart. I think he fought Nate Campbell. Eric Morales, all types of guys. He fought on his way up. And, he challenged Lucas Matisse when everybody was like, oh, you scared, and beat him. Some people try to take credit away from him then. Had a fight with Herrera in Puerto Rico. People thought he lost. And after he tasted, steak versus Matisse, he wasn't the same fighter no more, man. He just tasted caviar, and, he invested his money right, got a little clothing line, had a daughter. And, business-wise, he's financially stable. He could probably walk away from boxing and be okay today. And that's what people don't understand about the Pacquiao offer. Pacquiao offer was what it was. It wasn't enough for him because he's invested his money the right way, and he's able to move how he wants to move. If you follow him, very smart guy. And, that's the very importance of having a father figure in your life and a mentor that can help you move your assets the right way. And that he does. So he's not just going to, fight these, these high risk, high reward fights like Errol Spence. I know reporters that can reach out to him, right now on the dime and ask him, but they haven't asked him. Maybe they asked him behind closed doors and asked him about it off the record. He don't want to be on the record or a video talking about it. I've seen Ellie Seckback, talk to him, didn't ask him about it. I know Nestor from the boxing clinic talks to him, all the time. So maybe it's just something that he don't want to talk about. But I tell you this, the Danny Garcia plan is this. He thinks he has a layup versus Keith Thurman. He wants to Keith Thurman rematch. And people say, oh, why you don't want to fight Sean Porter? Because the mandatory, whoever wins that fight will be the #1 contender, mandatory for Keith Thurman. He knows he's already going to get the Keith Thurman rematch. And that might be Keith Thurman return tune-up fight. Fighting twice the last 2 years in Keith Thurman. Danny Garcia brings another significant payday on the East Coast for him and another easy victory for him. He knows Danny can cut the ring on him, so he wouldn't mind jumping back in the game versus Danny Garcia. He is a highly ranked foe in the WBC. It makes sense, and then he can come back and fight Sean Porter in the rematch, and then he can think about Errol Spence. I don't think he's going to fight Errol Spence in the first half of 2018. If he fights Errol Spence, it's probably going to be 2019 or the late half of 2018. And Lord forbid, Keith Thurman doesn't get injured. Then he might only fight once or twice next year. He really needs to fight 4 times, but it is what it is. But Danny Garcia knows that, and and that is what it is in his story, man. He wants to Keith Thurman fight. He ain't fighting anything less. Perhaps he might take the Bud Crawford fight. Perhaps I think that's the only fight that he will take amongst the big names. He don't want to fight Sean. Don't want to fight. He'll fight Keith. Lamont Peterson, he ain't gonna fight him in a rematch. Jeff Horn, of course, but that ain't gonna happen. So I think the Crawford and the Crawford and Keith Thurman fight is the only fight that he make. And I think the Terrence Crawford fight, if Bob Arum really wants to make that fight, I think that's a great fight for Danny Garcia, early next year, this year. But like I said, I think he got the fast track on the Keith Thurman rematch for Keith Thurman tune-up return. And I think that's his game plan, man. I think that's the plan. I think he's on his way out, man. Like I said, the money comes in, faster than you could spend it. Sometimes for him, it comes in fast, and he's putting it up. Real estate, barbershops, investing in his community. I think the Keith Thurman fight after that, if he loses that, I think it's serious contemplating of retirement for him. He doesn't have that eye of the tiger anymore that he once had coming up. And he didn't lose it once he got, belts or, got hung. He lost it once, he started getting exposure and people started knowing who he was, and he started becoming financially stable is most important. And now, he can close the chapter on his career. And I think if he loses to Keith, I think it's over with for him. Perhaps a farewell fight versus Adrian Broner, one last big payday. But I think he's on the edge of retirement if he loses to Keith once again. But it is what it is. We gone.